Hello my beautiful hammerheads and welcome back to another gameplay overview for Rivenstone. Part 4, the best one, dice. So you can find these posts either on the Kickstarter page. When you scroll down a little bit, then you have all these blog posts right here, or you can just go to the Broken Anvil Miniatures homepage. And here with BAM news, just here in the bottom, it starts with gameplay part 1, the overview. If you're curious for the lore and this is your first video, you can also find the lore for every faction as of right now, also in this BAM news, or you can click the link in the top right corner of this video. Also, I will link the playlist in the description box down below. Rivenstone utilizes 3 different dice to resolve the action in-game: skill dice, attacker dice and shard dice. These dice are 6-sided, 10-sided and 12-sided respectively. Let's start by taking a look at skill dice. Skill dice are the game's most common dice. They are used for many roles, such as when models perform attacks, attempts to harvest Rivenstone from deposits, or use their ingenuity to solve a puzzle. The outcome of a skill dice is determined by how many successes are rolled. Sometimes this is measured against a static number. For example, when a model harvests a Rivenstone deposit, they must roll 1 success on their ingenuity roll to safely harvest a shards token from that deposit. In other circumstances, there are opposed rolls where the player who rolls the most successes wins the contest. For example, an attacking model rolling a number of skill dice equal to their weapon strength stat versus the defending model rolling a number of skill dice equal to their defensive stat. The icons on the skill die count as successes for different types of rolls, as described below. We have Wild, a success in all rolls; a Fist, a success in all rolls except defense rolls; Shield, a success only in defense rolls; Focus, a success when a model burns a vigor to focus; and there is also 1 blank face on each skill die. A blank usually has no effect. The attacker die. Each time a model attacks, in addition to rolling some skill dice, they also roll a single attacker die to determine if their attack has any additional effects. This means that no matter what model you are attacking with, there are some common effects you can expect to encounter in addition to their own unique special rules. This provides a bit of consistency that you can potentially plan around. For example, the chances of a model pushing their enemy on an attack are higher than any other result. So more times than not, if you successfully attack an enemy standing near an objective, you will push them off of it. So we have a 20% chance for cleave. This result allows a model that destroys the target of a melee attack to immediately declare a free attack action with the same weapon against another model within the weapon's range. This free attack rolls 1 fewer skill die than the attack that triggered it. We have a 20% chance for a critical. This result determines if a successful attack causes more damage than normal. So in our last video we talked about the stat cards, in which the attacks had 2 damage values. This would be the second value. We have a 10% chance of a misfire. There is always a chance that an errant wind or faulty ammunition will foul the shot. If this symbol is rolled during a missile weapon attack roll, the attack misses regardless of the results rolled on the skill dice. We have a 40% chance for a push roll. This result allows a model that made a successful melee attack to push the target the distance of tight range and follow up. And last but not least, we have a 10% chance for a vigor roll. This result indicates that the attacker has inspired their allies in some small but noticeable way. When this result is rolled, the attacker recharges a vigor, regardless of whether the attack is successful. The result of the attacker die determines the type of the attack. For example, if a model makes a successful attack and the attacker die results in a push, that attack is referred to as a push attack. An attack can also be referred to by its associated weapon type or by special rules involved in making that attack. For example, an attack made with a melee weapon could be referred to as a melee attack. And then we have the shard die. The game has one shard die, which is used to determine which models have a chance of harvesting Rivenstone from erupting deposits and when the rounds end. Let me break both of these aspects down. Models can harvest shard tokens from a Rivenstone deposits in two ways. During a model's activation, it can spend an action if it is close enough to a deposit to manually mine a shard token from it. Additionally, at the end of each player's turn, they choose a deposit to erupt and place a token on it to show that it has erupted. A deposit can't be chosen to erupt if it has a token on it already, and all the tokens clear off when every deposit has one. When a deposit erupts, the player rolls the shard die, which tells them the distance that the erupting shard goes, as well as how many shards come out. So if a player rolled the results of L and a single dip, that means one shard token is available to each player that has a model within long range of the erupting deposit. The second half of why this die is important is that the number of shard pip rolls on the die are added to the round timer. Remember that when you play Rivenstone, you choose a scenario and an event deck. The scenario tells you how many rounds the game lasts, while the event deck tells you how long the timer is for each round. When the round timer has a number of tokens on it equal to or greater than the amount indicated by the chosen event deck, the round ends and a new one begins. You'll notice that two of the shard die facings have two shard pips on them, while another is blank. This means there is an element of uncertainty to exactly when a round will end. In most cases, the round timer will carry forward one tick at a time, but there is a 25% chance each time you roll the shard die that the timer goes off kilter. Rerolls. Some special rules give players the opportunity to reroll one of their skill dice rolls. Some special rules give players the opportunity to reroll one of their skill dice rolls or force an opponent to reroll. These rules can affect all dice in a roll or just a single die. Multiple rules that give rerolls can be used on the same roll. When a rule allows for a reroll, that rule can be used only once per die roll. This means that a player cannot infinitely reroll from a single rule, but they can have multiple rerolls on a single dice roll from multiple rules. For example, say a player has two rerolls, a model rule that allows an attack to be rerolled and a coalition ability that grants a reroll. If they are not satisfied with the result of the first reroll, they can use the additional rule to reroll again. Without a third rule allowing them yet another reroll, those are the only two rerolls they could make during that attack roll. The shard and attacker dice can only ever be rerolled by special rules that mention them specifically. Okay, of course, dice are my absolutely favorite topic because I love dice. And who doesn't love throwing dice in a wargame? Come on. It's our bread and butter. It's our PB&J. So I like the skill dice. This would have been possible with just a normal D6, because if you're attacking, you always hit on a 4+. When you're focusing with the Vigor, you hit with a 3+. And if you're defending on a 5+, and with the Vigor on a 4+, and so on and so on. So, but I have nothing against this. In a starter set, you have 10 of those. I love dice. Give it. I want them. The attacker die is genius. I love this. First of all, with the 10% chance of a misfire, it subtly nerfs power projection. You cannot just shoot your enemy off the board. Of course, it's still possible because it's a dice game, but still there is a chance, no matter how well your skill dice are, you may misfire and everything is gone. The additional effects are also very nice. I love those. With critical damage, with push, with cleave, with the extra vigor. This is such a narrative piece in just one die. This will spark so many conversations with your friends while playing, and so many memorable moments when just one single guy maybe destroys 3 other ones, because he always destroys the enemies and rolls a cleave die. That would be awesome and hilarious. Just imagine a Shard Knight with his mega gauntlets, reloading them like Henry Cavill in Mission Impossible and punching through the enemies. That would be hilarious. Then the Shard die. Also a very nice addition. I love the chance of having more than one shard or none in a round to off-kilter your progress in the game, because in one of the scenarios we already know, there is, whenever a deposit erupts and there are 6 shards flying out of them, the round is done. But so this would mean every player has 3 rounds. But now just say you roll the shard die and have 3 X's. That would mean one player has 5 activations and the other one has 4. That is scary and amazing. I love how simple rerolls are. You can reroll them basically as much as you want with every rule you have and every ability. And it's not a convoluted text, which is also very nice. Thank you for that. But what are your thoughts on the dice? Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I am keen to know what you have to say. And while you're down there, do all the YouTube stuff, because hitting buttons is fun. Have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic. Stay hydrated. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.